Rich Thaw is back. Today he's talking about exercises to help prepare you for those main exercises, which, Rich, I'll be honest, welcome to the show, by the way.
Thanks.
I'll be honest with you, I read it and I'm like, oh, geez, is this something I should be doing? Let's talk about this. So what's the purpose of doing this?
This is a warm-up, or more specifically, a movement prep. So you're preparing for the movements that you're going to do. So, for example, if you're going to squat in a workout, the best thing to do is warm up the muscles or the movements that you're going to be using in the squat.
So is this outside of stretching? You're still going to do some stretching?
Absolutely. So last time we talked about breathing, rolling, and stretching, which should be the first thing you do, and then you should move based on the movements you're going to do in the workout.
Okay.
So we're doing some exercises today that pretty much complement what you're going to be doing in the workout.
All right. Well, let's have a look at some of these exercises. You brought Ariel and Jess along with you here.
Yep.
Who do you want to start with and describe
So
what we're doing?
what Ariel's doing, we'll start from closest. So first thing she's doing, she's getting those ribs locked down, a little dissociation between those lats and those abs. Because when you do squat, for example, you want to make sure that core is nice and strong. We talked about this before, that core pillar. So we're in the most basic position. We're teaching that body, okay, keeping this strong while dissociating a muscle that kind of takes over sometimes, which is those lats.
Okay.
So this is a dead bug. Low back is on the ground.
This is called the dead bug.
Dead bug.
I like that.
Not dying, but it's already dead. Legs don't move, right?
The bug's already dead. It's just twitching.
Exactly.
Slightly.
So she's preparing for a lower body day, and Jess is preparing for an upper body day. So he's in a push-up position, pushing with those arms, so getting some scapular movement, as well as reaching towards the toe and taking a breath to open up those ribs. We talked about breathing, how important it is last time.
Well, and you know, you look at this too. You mentioned, you know, working the core and the rib area and so forth. But when I'm watching that, you're working quite a few different muscles.
Oh yeah,
right?
That's kind of the idea. It's not just one warm-up, one muscle warm-up. It's more of a multifaceted approach, which is kind of the approach we're taking to everything.
Right.
Most bang for buck in terms of exercises.
Okay, what do we got Jess doing now?
So Jess is doing band pull-aparts again for that shoulder stability. He's working on more of an upper body day because those shoulders, if they're not in a good position, if they don't work well, you may get some neck pain or trap pain and like wonder why you're sore and tight all the time. So he's working on opening that up and strengthening those posture muscles.
Which is something I struggled with. Remember, we talked about that. The first thing Rich asked me when he arrived, he's like, Derek, how's the shoulders? How you feeling? All right, what's Ariel doing
Ariel is doing, again, preparing for that squat day. So we're working on those muscles that help push out those knees and stabilize those hips. The band is around the knees, and we're practicing that squat and pushing into that band, almost like you want to rip that guy. So again, making those hips more stable, so when you squat, it's a cleaner, more efficient movement. Okay,
they're moving on to something else. Let's start with Jess, because he looks like he's prepared here. What's he doing now?
Good to go. All right, so again, moving along the lines of the scapular stability, so the shoulder stability and that upper body stability. So we're doing a wall slide, forward band wall slide. So the idea here is...
So would you do this against the wall? Is that...
Yeah, you can do it against the wall. If you don't have a wall, you can do it like Jess is doing, just improv it. So essentially the wrists are over the elbows. We are pushing out into that band. We're going all the way out with those shoulders like he's doing right here.
Yeah.
Sliding all the way up tall, as high as he can. He's going to feel a stretch in his lats and his triceps, and then coming back for full shoulder blade
which is great, too, because as you just said, he's actually doing stretches at the same time he's working some of those muscles, right?
And now we're starting to see the full picture of all this, right? So it's all integrated. Movement is medicine, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Ariel is practicing that hinge, so like a deadlift, and then a squat right here. So kind of preparing for both patterns. And then from here, we're challenging the hip stability in that bottom position and keeping that torso upright like you would need in the squat.
Rich, I imagine this, you know, oftentimes, you know, when you come on the show and they see, you know, these people are so fit and I can't do anything. But this is probably something beginners should really be doing, right? Before, you know, a lot of people have gone to the gym, New Year's resolutions. I know some of you probably wrapped it up already. Get back to the gym, get back on the horse sort of thing. Don't wrap it up. But is this a great idea for beginners?
Absolutely.
Before they jump in?
These are foundational movements regardless. Whether you're a professional athlete or somebody just starting in the gym, this is actually movement prep drills that I use with my current clients. So these are things that you'd actually see if you come into a session with me coaching. These are things that they'd actually be doing. Okay,
let's lastly have a look. What's Ariel working on here?
So just like every segment, we're moving through the workout progress. The first thing was rolling, stretching, and breathing. And the next segment, we're going to talk about plyos. So these are pre-plyo movements. So we're starting up from there, dropping to a squat, and then holding. And they're kind of showing you the next step of the plyometrics. So these are warming you up from less movement to more movement and preparing yourselves for the lift, for the sprint, for the jumping around, for all that fun stuff that you see on YouTube videos.
I was training with a WWE hopeful here in Montreal yesterday. Let me tell you, that's a brutal workout. I could have used some of these exercises. We just saw what Jess was doing. Jess, can you just do one more and just explain exactly what Jess is working here?
So Jess is doing almost like a drop push-up. So he's dropping down and pausing at the bottom of the push-up, so preparing his chest for the upper body. They're preparing those shoulders to keep him in a nice stable position and preparing that trunk for some ballistic stability.
And good on you, Jess. I made you do some more there. Ariel, Jess, thank you very much. Rich, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming. Don't go anywhere. Lots more Breakfast Television coming up right after this.